It's almost been 2 years since I've released a dedicated video on Choujin X. Since then, Sui Ishida has released like 30 more chapters from when I last read it, and the story has progressed to a very climatic point. In all honesty, after reading up to like chapter 63, I was thinking about putting this video off for later, especially because it seems like the story is coming to its craziest moments and possibly reaching its end in the near future. I've been reading Choujin X since its inception, looking at what direction it has been taking over the years and guessing at what is to come. My favorite part of it so far, and probably this to be my favorite part of it when it ends, is Tokyo Kurohara. More specifically, his whole character arc going from this directionless, dreamless teenager who relies solely on other people to shape his life around, going from that to this guy who's found his identity and convictions in a very chaotic world. A world that he gets thrust into very abruptly. So it's been satisfying seeing his character development throughout this whole time Choujin X has been going on. On the other hand, the world of Choujin X has become something very unexpected, especially with the latest chapters. There's a lot of characters being introduced, and with that, a very vast and diverse array of abilities is also introduced. The sky is truly the limit for the powers that can pop up within here. I mean, you have some guy who uses blood to regenerate and also uses it as a weapon. There's like this icy guy who could become an ice paladin, covering himself in ice, and I don't know, it's so creative. There's also the previous Choujin X, the War Choujin Queen, who's giving birth to vessels. I mean, even the existing powers that the characters have are shown to be a lot more complex than what they first appear to be. Or there's like some sort of growth within each of them, especially with Ozma. I don't know if you guys seen the fight he had against Vlad, but it feels like there's a lot of stuff that has happened since I last read this story. The power system has been very surprising to watch, and in that sense, you can kind of see some people being turned off by it with how the story goes about showing off its action. But I think it's been allowing Sui Ishida quite a lot of, it's been giving him a lot of freedom, especially artistically. And that's one of my favorite things about Ishida is just his art. And man, he has not lost his ability to make some great stuff. Spoilers, real quick. Sora Sriracha, the main antagonist of the story. The way Ishida has handled her reminds me of Furuta quite a bit, as in the line between right and wrong is a bit skewed when you think about her reasoning for going against Yamato Mori, and then, you know, Yamato Mori going against her. I didn't think Ishida would have such a big showdown between Yamato Mori and Sora happening so soon, and it's been a pretty big conflict. Also, what's been going on with Batista lately has been pretty mind-boggling, especially him taking up this mantle of, you know, this big bad of everything, and then warping time and space. It really adds to that conversation on power systems being just thrown out of whack. How have I been feeling about Choujin X? My hype for the story has died down a little bit, but coming back to it, I've gotten more excited about it again. As far as I've seen, Choujin X has been gaining more and more popularity since it started. I've gotten a few comments asking me to talk about it again. My biggest opinion on it right now, after sitting with it these past few years, then coming back to all this chaos with Batista and whatnot, my opinion of it is, what the hell? Like, Ishida is really tearing apart the fabric of reality with this Inception type stuff and flying whales. When I started reading this, I knew that Choujin X was going to be pretty wacky when it comes to, you know, all the powers and people taking serums and stuff. I knew it was going to be off the walls, but this type of stuff even surpasses like JoJo stands. There's so many things that feel like they just get pulled out of nowhere. I've been finding it super fun to read. I'm also really liking the direction that Ishida has been going with Batista. We've seen very little of his backstory, and you know, we're only just now getting it in the most recent chapters. But I'm definitely ready to see more. Ishida, my body's ready. Like I said, it's been 2 years since I've last made a video on Choujin X, and really 2 years since I've engaged in any part of the community. So I'd like to know your thoughts on it. How are you rocking with the story and the direction it's going? How do you feel about the power system? Did any of you somehow anticipate what's going on right now? Do you also think present day Sora Sriracha is hot? Let me know. I'd like to see what you guys are thinking. I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about Choujin X. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care and peace.